Hyundai's been really trying to reach out to the youthful car enthusiast crowd here recently, and now they add another model to the N inline lineup.
So see what's in this video.
Ooh. So one thing we want to get straight right off the bat is N and inline are not the same thing with Hyundai. Okay?
We would like them to be, but they're not.
It would make it easy.
But Hyundai isn't necessarily like Sunday anymore.
Oh.
It is fun, and it's got some spunk in it.
The key difference between those, the N, like with the Veloster N,
right,
is going to be the top of the line, track-proven performance vehicle that Hyundai's putting out.
Actually faster in horsepower and acceleration, whatever you want, the numbers are there.
You get all the good fun sounds with their best engine that they put in that vehicle. Then you have the N line. So basically take all the cool appearance stuff that the N model has and then put it onto a regular vehicle, but you don't put the best sounding, the fastest engine, the best transmission in it. You basically more appearance with, you do have some upgrades like with steering or brakes or, you know, suspension, stuff like that, but you don't get all the horsepower that the N version
like a true different powertrain. Something like you might see with like Ford with the ST models, like Focus or the Edge, and even like Mercedes sometimes does it with AMG versus their regular C-Class, and even BMW with the M. But also, BMW does get away with some of those things, right?
Yeah, they do. And I think that's the best example to look at is the BMW version. You know, not as hardcore because obviously the N is not the same as an M Series, like an M3 or an M4. But the M Series vehicles is their track-proven performance vehicles.
M performance versus M appearance package, stuff like that.
Yeah, pretty much. So just a toned down version of that because obviously a Hyundai's not whipping around with 500 horsepower. Right. That would be dope, but it's not.
I mean, it is exciting though. I mean, this is something you also see with the Volkswagen line where even my wife points out the T1 that is in our line, it looks a lot sleeker with a different body kit, but doesn't necessarily have a faster powertrain in it. So this is something more for the people that want something that's like, you know, maybe they want a normal car, they want to pay the extra for the performance because they don't care as much about the performance, but they want to stand out with a different, sleeker look. You know, with most of these brands we see that change the name like that, it definitely does get a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little more sleek. There's different little lines on the cars at certain spots. It's definitely a good angle to go towards. I mean with BMW, you get like blue brake calipers, and you get cool little paddle shifters and different things like that that give it that little like extra in the car, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think we've talked about with Kia vehicles before, they're really revamping. Josh said earlier, it's no longer your Sunday vehicle. They're trying to reach to a younger, more car-loving crowd with these N and inline models. So if you want something that looks more sportier, like you like the way your vehicle looks, you know, you care about that, then inline vehicles would be for you. Now, if you want the same thing and something faster, then the N models are going to be for you. But we have already seen the Veloster N, and now there's Elantra GT inline out there, which there's one in my neighborhood I was telling you about earlier. That thing looks pretty cool. It's not as fast as the Veloster N, but it is what I'd imagine to be a fun vehicle to whip around because it's still above 200 horsepower. You know, you still got all the space you would need for anything with the hatchback, 4 doors. But Hyundai's also adding into there a Sonata inline and a Elantra inline sedan. And one big one that's coming out here recently, by the time this episode drops on YouTube, probably about like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Hyundai USA tweeted out a Kona N.
Not inline, N.
N.
Repeat.
N. 290 horsepower in a Kona N.
So you're pretty much telling me there's a Volkswagen Golf R with a Kona body on it.
Pretty much. I mean, the video that Hyundai tweeted out was the Kona pulling up to the Veloster at a light, giving him the nod, and then took off. So I thought it was a fun little video that Hyundai made. And I mean, when they're adding all these different vehicles within and inline badges, it just makes it a more fun and exciting brand.
You know, at the end of the day, Hyundai is doing a lot of cool things, whether it's in the Hyundai line or the Genesis line. I mean, even the Ioniq stuff. I mean, you guys watch our videos, we've noticed there's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and I'm pumped to see exactly where it goes. Maybe this will push people like Ford. You know, they've been doing a lot of new vehicles, but I mean, they got rid of the Fiesta ST, and they've got rid of the Fiesta all along, or all together. And Hyundai bringing the Kona N, this definitely raises the ante when it comes to, you know, compact SUV performance, because I just don't see very many of them. I mean, you look at Audi, they have the Q3, but I don't believe they have an SQ3, or at least in America. So that's something to note. Like, there's not too many of them. The only other one we can think of, and we've talked about it in our top SUVs that are under 35K, was, you know, the GLA 45 AMG. That's another one that's in that line. Obviously, the Veloster N does not stand that high, but for the price point, I think it will definitely be the best bang for your buck.
Yeah, so the prices we're seeing on these vehicles, you can't beat it. Like with the Sonata inline, this 290 horsepower sedan for under 30,000, brand new. That's crazy, Josh.
Hyundai Fun Day.
That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, if you guys are excited about what Hyundai is doing, maybe you haven't been before, but now you are, let us know in the comment section. Let's have a little discussion. I mean, we're pumped about it. We've been pumped. We've talked about Genesis way too many times. We've talked about Hyundai like countless times now. I mean, so much good stuff happening in the car industry, hoping we continue to trend that way in the near future with other car brands. If you haven't already liked this video, go ahead and do that down below. Hit that subscribe button and the bell to be alerted when we do put out new content.
Yeah, so that'll wrap up this episode of Gulf Coast Gearheads.